Before we begin, quick disclaimer. This situation involves a Spanish YouTuber and a Google document with over 75 pages in Spanish. Now, I do know a little bit of Spanish from living in SoCal and from working with a lot of Hispanic people, but my Spanish isn't good enough to read that whole document. And even if it was, I don't have the time to read a 75-page Google document on this stuff and all the various tweets about it as well. So this is not a video of me trying to expose this YouTuber. I'm not saying YouTuber's guilty or not, but it is a situation that's currently unfolding and going viral, and so I'm going to talk about it, and by all means, if you want to look into it more on your own and come to your own conclusion, that's probably the best choice. The other reason I want to talk about this is because there is a frequent thing where people that virtue signal against something often get exposed for being that exact thing, as we may be seen in this situation, once again, depending on the conclusion that you come to. And also, I'll cite another example anecdotally here. This guy Silly Rally a year and a half ago made a video about me, including saying that I need to get laid and making some sort of claims about how he's against maps in his video, which is really weird because I'm not a map. That had nothing to do with me. And then this dude later got exposed for trying to groom a minor. She exposed the dude, even posted a full phone call with him and stuff. Now the current news, back to that Spanish YouTuber. This thread with over 1,000 likes goes on to claim that this Spanish YouTuber had made a video taking a stance against lollies, and they later got exposed for being this. Now, I'm not going to say the word because sometimes the audio algorithm doesn't like when you say that word, but I'm not going to censor it. You can see it's here on screen. We also have one of the alleged victims here in a tweet with over 7,400 likes, where they say, after much thought, they finally decided to speak up about what Audio 2 Post did to them when they were 15 years old, in addition to other testimonials that have a similar experience to mine, and it's all in the document, they say. Pratt also providing this update in a tweet that further goes on to say that the alleged groomer claims that the alleged victim was 17, but she refutes that point, saying that she was 15 and that he knew that she was, and that she was just starting high school. And as I mentioned, there's a 75-page Google document with all kinds of pictures, Discord logs, text messages, real-life pictures apparently too, and some like NSFW stuff. Audio 2 Post apparently went on to refute some of the claims in this tweet. However, it does look like public reception isn't going so well. The tweet only getting 66 likes versus 113 quote tweets and over 142,000 views. Other people would also refute some of the evidence that Audio 2 Post provides. For example, providing this screenshot and getting a response that says, "Old man, you dropped the whole lie. You were talking about Prad." That's one of the alleged victims. You may have noticed the name there, Prad. But the capture is a conversation with Miko. The other OP, Alpha Zondo, would also provide a English TLDR of the Google document. However, it's like 9 tweets for 75 pages, so I think we're going to be missing some information. And I can't verify how good this TLDR is or isn't because I haven't read the official document in Spanish and all that, obviously. But to be fair to El Fazando, that also means it might be a perfectly accurate, like amazing TLDR. I just can't verify it one direction. So as always, make up your own mind on this stuff. If you want to read the TLDR, you know where to find it. But essentially, the TLDR says that Prad was 15 years old when Felipe, that Spanish YouTuber, was 20 years old at the time, and that they began dating 7 days after meeting, and that Felipe always knew her age, and he didn't care. Also asking her to do inappropriate sexual things, even despite her protesting that she didn't want to do such things, to which he would then allegedly get very angry about, saying that the conversations he had with her were always on NSFW topics, and that they even had an 18+ video call at the time, which was discovered by her parents. Well, sometime after all that, they apparently broke up, and sometime before or after that, there was apparently a situation where Felipe was also trying to get NSFW pictures from a 17-year-old girl as well, and then also apparently trying to groom a 14-year-old artist, and furthermore also apparently stealing art from her, saying that he didn't want to pay her for art that she apparently made for his Twitch channel, and that he threatened to take away her work as an artist because he was going to call her parents. But that backfired because her parents already knew about everything, and they were going to sue Felipe because they live in the same country, and Felipe then never talked to that artist again. All right, so real talk. Perhaps these claims are true, perhaps they're not. There is a lot of evidence backing them up, and public reception is not in Felipe's favor at all. It's not looking good for dude. Now that said, just keeping it real, yeah, people can fake logs. They can fake Discord logs, text messages, screenshots, all that stuff. But even factoring that in, there's a lot of claims from multiple people and a lot of evidence from multiple people. It would have been a lot of work to fake all this stuff. And Felipe is acknowledging it on some level, though. Again, he's refuting certain claims. So, as always, make of it what you will. However, there certainly is a thing where, as we talked about in the beginning of this video, many people who are quote-unquote antis or virtue signaling types, they do often get exposed, like 100%. Exposed for being what they virtue signal about. On a final note, I hope this coverage was satisfactory. Please consider liking and subscribing. If it was, I don't think I do great coverage on topics like this. They just really, they disgust me, to be quite frank. Thank you for your understanding, and if you want to read the full Google document on your own, I will have one of the @ where you can find that Google document in the description, so you copy paste it on Twitter, find that link very easily, and we'll leave it there. Once again, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the comments and in the next segment.